Hi all, welcome to SkillBout. Do you know average questions can be solved within 10 to 15 seconds? To learn the trick, please must watch part 1, 2, 3 of the same video series. Links are in description.
Whenever I talk about part 4, before starting my part 4, I want to give you one example for you people to solve. Let's say I guess in my batch 3, I have two type of audience. One audience is coming from a background of EC, correct? Somebody confirm on it. Some of you are coming from EC. Some more of you are coming from a background of EN. EN is nothing but triple E, electronics. Sorry, electrical. So when I talk about the
Electrical
people who are
electronics.
coming
Yes, sir.
from EC, those who are coming from EN, what I'm doing is that I'm mixing both of them and I'm making another batch. And I've given this batch name as batch 2. Earlier, my people don't even know what is the meaning. Sorry, batch 3. Earlier, my people don't even know that what is batch 2, batch 3. So let's give you one example. My example is very simple here. I am saying that, let's say this, I've conducted one test, and from this test, I come to know that EC people have got a average marks of 30 out of 50. Means all the EC people have tried the test and they got 30 marks. This is the average marks of entire EC group. Then I have come and see this performance. Once I got this performance, I come to know that these people got 40 marks, this average marks for this group, this average marks for this group. Now when I talk about my new group which I have formed, what we call it as batch 3, can anybody comment that what will be the average of this group?
35, sir.
35.
Okay.
So this 35 is the answer. When the lady who has given me 35 is the answer, the lady have assumed that, sir, the average of this group, sorry, number of member in this group as well as number of member in this group, both of them are same, equal. So 35 would be answer. I'm not denying that 35 won't be answer, but until unless you don't know what is the number here, you don't know what is the number here, let me tell you, directly adding this 30 plus 40 divided by 2 and getting the answer as 35 is wrong answer. Let me tell you very honestly. So I can say that in this example till now, the data is incomplete. I cannot determine. If you somebody asks this a question, you say that it cannot be determined. Answer is cannot be determined. I cannot determine the answer from here. So let me give you one more example, practical example. Why I feel this aptitude difficult, because we try to solve it in terms of problem. Try to bring it to your life. Try to think about it. The things look very easy for you. Let's say that this gentleman whose name is Roshan, he's traveling from Bengaluru and he's going to, let's say, Pune. And during the entire journey, whenever he's doing this entire journey, let's give one a hypothetical case. During the entire journey, he has only traveled with 3 speed. One is 51, another one is 52, and another one is 53. Means entire journey has been done only with this three speed, that is 51, 52, 53. So can I please ask here that if what is the average speed of this journey? Means during the entire journey, how much speed would be the average? What is the average I can consider from here? Average speed
52.
52. Some of
Data
one of my
is
friends said that, sir, it should be 52.
टाइम नहीं पता एवरेज स्पीड के लिए टाइम भी चाहिए
Exactly. Those who are saying 52 is again assuming. He's again assuming. What is assuming? He's assuming that this, whatever the time he's travel on this speed, whatever time he's travel on this speed, whatever time he's travel on all these 3 speed, and all the times are equal. Have I ever said that? Let me make it clear. मैं कहना क्या चाह रहा हूं? मैं कहना ये चाह रहा हूं बच्चे कि जब तक आपको टाइम नहीं बताया जाए, until unless they will not give you time, your answer will be data insufficient, or you can say that cannot be determined. You can give the answer like this. You cannot say that 52 is the right answer. Let me make it much clear to you. Let's say during the entire journey, this speed I've traveled only with 1 second. With this speed I've traveled only for 1 second. But this speed I have traveled for, let's say, 2 seconds. And with this speed, the final speed, I've traveled for 5 hours. Still your answer is 52? Still, can you give your answer as 52 only?
नो सर
Still, can you say the answer is 52 only? No, not at all.
No, sir.
No,
Why
sir.
we cannot say 52? Because the most part of my journey I've traveled with 5 hours. If most part of journey I've traveled with 5 hours, which means that my average will be near to this 53. And this is what we have learned in the previous class in lecture 1, lecture 2, lecture 3, or 3 part of the average. That average is the part of the group which is done a lot of time, or which can represent each and every member of the group. So again, let me tell you, there would be a situation in the examination where I have to depend upon two different value. Means in other word, what I'm trying to tell is that I will be finding the average of value which in terms depend upon two different value. Sir, what do you mean to say? But I just want to say that you need to find average of such thing which depend upon two number. Like example, speed. I hope every one of you know this formula for speed. I need not to tell you this. Everyone can say that speed is equal to distance by time, if I'm not wrong. I hope this much everyone can say. Now what I want average of such things which are a form A by B. If I'm not wrong, both questions which I've given you just now are those questions which depends upon two terms. Here the one term is distance, another term is time. Let me go back to the previous question. I've given the average of one group. I've given the average of second group. Means average formula. What is average formula? Average formula is equal to sum divided by number. Correct? See here also that again I'm depending upon two parts. So if you seen the story properly, or if you understood the previous, if you know the previous concept also, can I say that let's first bifurcate average topic itself into two broader parts. What are the two broader parts, sir? Let me talk about a part where I will be talking about average of such number which is a singular terms. What is the meaning of singular terms? Like age. Age will be some number, 10 year, 12 year, 15 year. Or let me talk about some other number called as weight. This will be also some number, 10 kilogram, 20 kilogram. Similarly, could you please give me some more example in this singular term? इस तरह का कौन-कौन से और example हो सकते हैं? What else can be the example in this kind of problem?
Height.
Height, very much. Height will be there. What else? So there will be a lot of example, like you can have marks, you can have anything. So what I'm trying to tell is that let's say talk about a kind of a problem where we are dealing with only singular term and finding the average of singular term. In this kind of a problem, I have given you three different shortcuts, which is given in part one. My friend, let me tell you very honestly, this entire average topic you might have learned in different way before, but this entire average topic now is divided into two parts. Part number one, where I'm finding the average of number, which is only of singular entity, could be either age, example age, weight, height. I hope you understood a single number. Second part of story, average of such terms, which is of a form A by B. I've given two examples till now. Example number one was finding average of average again, or finding average of speed. Can anyone think and give some more example?
Time.
Yes, time, if I'm not wrong, time I can keep it into this part of story, because time will be 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes. It will be something like this if I'm not wrong. Time won't be one of the things, my brother.
Acceleration.
Acceleration is nothing but speed again, correct? Velocity. What else? Have you seen example that they give a price of three different quantity? They say that price of rice is something, price of wheat is something, price of let's say pulses are something, and find the average price of the entire purchasing. So when we talk about price, I hope every one of you know that price itself is also not a singular quantity. Look, let me give one example. Price of this pen, let's say I'm calling it as 8 rupees. It look a singular quantity, but it's confusing. It's not singular quantity, my friend. It's 8 rupees per unit. For 1 unit, I paid 8 rupees. I hope you understood what I'm trying to say here. So when I talk about a price, please understand price is also a form A by B. I'll give you some more example by myself only so that you can visualize it. Percentages. I hope everyone have calculated percentage in their life before. And most of the time, let me give one example. I got 30 marks out of 50 marks, and somebody asked me how much percent you got. So I do always like this, 30 divided by 50 into 100. So if you see, ultimately this is also a form of A by B. What is the meaning of form of A by B? Are terms which is of which depends upon two different part of story. So this is also a form of A by B. So let me come back and add some more number here. Percentages. I think some part of ratios will be also there. Ratios. So let me tell you, all these example what I've written here, all these example based upon a category of a question which we call it as weightage average. What do we call it as? Weightage average. Now, what is this weightage average, sir? Weightage average cannot be determined like the previous one, the normal average, what we have done before. Earlier, what we did, whatever the number we had, we added the number and divided by number of sample spaces. So whenever we talk about weightage average, how does the weightage average look, sir? So we always say that weightage is nothing but, my friend, it's nothing but the total, entire. So whenever I talk about weightage average, it's not a new concept. You might have used this concept without knowing it also. It just says the total thing. So let me give one example. Whenever I talk about average speed, so I come to know that I am finding average of a term which is A by B. Means this will be a form of a weightage average. Whenever this will be a form of weightage average, can I say something like this, my friend, that weighted average will be nothing but equal to total average. And total of what? Speed here. So whenever I come back to the total part of this speed here, I want to people to come back and see the screen one more time. So what I'm trying to say is that average of such things which form A by B, we call it as a weightage average. If I want to understand, that is not a new thing, that just add a total at the entire part of story. So first, how to define this one? First, write the formula for speed. I hope everyone can understand and write the formula for speed. Formula for speed will be distance divided by time. If I'm not wrong, this distance by time, every one of you know. When I put here total, that's nothing but called as weightage speed or average speed. So what you need to do is that you need to put total at both parts of story. Here also you have to put total. Here you also have to put total. I hope you understand. So this is how it goes. So whenever I talk about this weightage average or weighted speed is another name, or average speed again another name, you always come back and say total distance. So let's say three part of the journey are happening. So distance 1 in the previous example which I've given you, distance 2 and distance 3 whole divided by time 1 plus time 2 and time 3. So this is nothing but how I find the average speed. We have some shortcuts also that I'll come back and discuss with you. The shortcuts are nothing but a special form of this weighted speed. That also I'll discuss with you with some more example. So the moral of the story till now, whatever I've tried to discuss with every one of you, is that weightage average is nothing, not a new concept. It just whenever I talk about it, just understanding of the average in terms of total, and the way we have found the previous quantity, whether it's price, whether it's a percentage, whether it's a ratio, or whether it's the average itself. Just you have to do is that put total on the top. So when you talk about average of average or weighted average, you can call it as total sum divided by total number. So let me come back to the same example again. I'll be writing the example again here. I have two type of batch with me. One batch is of EC, another batch is of triple A or EN, whatever we call it as. So average of this group was 30, average of this group was 40. Let me call, this is the average marks I'm saying. This is what we call average marks. So let me give one example here. Let's say that this number, the member in this EC, I hope I've seen out of this entire batch, EC people are the most. What is the EC people are the most? Around, let's say 20 good number of people are from this batch, and from EN I have only 15 people. That's all. So number of this group is 20. Let's call it as N1. Number of this group is 15. Let's call it as N2. And whenever we talk about the average of entire group, that is average of these averages. So when we talk about average of entire batch 3, when we talk about batch 3, which is nothing but combination of these two audience, this is my batch 3. When we calculate the average of this batch 3, I'll say that average of average is nothing but total sum on the top whole divided by total number on the below. So till here I've just written that total sum by total number. Let's call the sum of this group as S1. Let's call the sum of this group as S2. Whenever I talk about the total sum, can I say that total sum will be sum 1 plus sum 2? Total number will be nothing but everyone can say that number 1 plus number 2. Everyone can say this beautifully. I hope you remember the formula for average. Everyone remember the formula for average. Average is nothing but sum by number. So if average is sum by number, anyone can say that, sir, sum will be nothing but average into number. Same thing I'm writing. It's just 1 means first group. So can I write S1 is equal to A1 into N1 plus this will be A2 into N2 whole divided by this A2 whole divided by N1 plus N2. I guess all of you know that, sir, in the entire question, both, all the data are given now. N1 is given, N2 is given, A1 is given, A2, all these data are given. When all these data are given, what I'll say here is that, let's substitute it. Let's substitute the number here. If the moment I substitute, the first group will be 30 into 20, 40 into 15, whole divided by 15 plus 20. This is one way of doing it. Whenever I talk about this part of story, everyone, my job is to make sure that you'll reach to the last part of story. So let me come back to the calculation of it. 40 into 15 will be nothing but 600. And let me talk about 30 into this will be again nothing but called as 600 only. And whole divided by 35. This number will be 1200 whole divided by 35. And out of this, I want you people to cancel out the way you want to cancel and give me one number.
34.28.
There's nothing but 34.28. Great. I just took a lot of time for you people to come back and do this calculation. And when I go back to the formula, I hope every one of you remember weightage average formula. Now we have got one formula defined which says that A1 N1 plus A2 N2, A1 N1 plus A2 N2 whole divided by N1 plus N2. Can I say that this N1 is on the top and this N1 is on the below also? Since these two numbers are on the top and bottom, if instead of this plus I could have multiplied, my job was very easy. I could have directly cancelled N1 and N2 and I could have got my answer. But since this is not multiplied, this is plus. So I hope everyone have seen common kind of things. You take things common, and once you take things common, whatever common from top, whatever common from bottom, whatever that common things which is from the top as well as from the bottom, this common part of story, can I say that these two common will cancel out each other always? So unnecessarily, why to have a big number? Why to have a big number? If you see, if you take common from here, 5 will be common and this will left out is 3. 4 will be common, 5 again will be common from this part and this left out things will be 4. And if you say this will be 5 common here, can I say that inside it will be only 15, inside it will be only 20. Same thing will go happening from here also. This will be 5 common, which means that this will be 4, this will be 3. I need not to do this calculation. This big number, see, we are lucky we have 40, we have 30. We are safe. You can think about a situation 23 or 27 and then multiply by 15 and multiply by 20. The calculation itself will become difficult. Since you know that this common will always cancel out each other, let's always, whenever we are finding weightage average, always keep this as a note. Make it in the note in your book and always remember that whenever you're using this formula, always take common, or in other words, take the ratio of it and write the smaller form. Ratio of which thing? The numbers, N1 and N2. Take the ratios of the number. What is the ratio of my number, my friend? Ratio of my number will be 15 and 20 ratios are. It is 3:4. Yeah. I hope every one of you got the ratio here, nothing but 3:4. Since you got the ratio 3:4, now your job is only to multiply with 3, 4. Any fine day, multiplication with 3 or 4 will be much easier than multiplication with 15 or other number which will be present in this kind of question. So let me summarize what I'm trying to discuss with you. Summary or the entire learning of this previous 10-15 minutes, whatever I devoted with you, was that number one, sir, always the formula will not hold good. What formula, sir? Formula is average is equal to sum by number. This formula will not get right answer every time. I hope you understand. When it will not get right answer means of situation where we are finding the average of two terms which are form A by B. Whenever I'm finding average of these kind of terms, in these kind of situation, I'll be using a weightage average. And what is the formula for weightage average? Everyone understand. Formula for weighted average is equal to A1 N1 plus A2 N2 whole divided by N1 into N1 plus N2. And please remember this formula. I'm not asking you to by heart it, but at least keep this formula in your mind. Why? Because entire allegation and mixture, my friend, entire allegation and mixture, I'll be again using the same formula and finding the entire topic, defining the entire topic on this formula. This is one of the very important part of the question, important part of your learning. The part says that in this kind of situation, you will be always using the concept of a weightage average. I hope I'm very much clear to this part of story. Second learning which I had from here is that, so since this N1 and N2, both of them are present on numerator and numerator, always take the ratio of N1 and N2 and then only you substitute the ratio. Now you can see this question on the screen. I want you people to try this question and get the answer. I'll be discussing three methods. I want you people to listen all three methods, especially for the one who has missed the previous classes. Method number one, I hope every one of you understood. They said that average weight. They have not said only weight. I hope you understand this part of the story. This is not only weight. This is average weight. Means average of any things will be a form A by B. So this average of number means, again, you are finding average of something, average weight of all of the class. There is one class, or say the two part of the same class. So let me write it like this. I have a big class which is divided into two parts. The two part which I have with me was a batch of 16 boys, and the second part I have was the batch of remaining 8 boys. So let me come back and understand this question properly. This classroom is divided into two parts. One I left out with 16 member in this batch. Another one I left out with 8 member. What is given over here is that out of the 16 member, this is average is 50.25. Again, let me tell you, this average is 50.25. This average is 45.15. This again, I'm saying, repeating this is average. And they ask the average of this third group, means weighted average. Method number one says that, sir, my formula, but I'm doing it so that you can understand. And see here, the number or the method which I discussed with you will help you in a great way. What is a great way? I said that don't take this 16 and this 8 like this only. Why I should not take the 16 and 8? Because I have to multiply A1 N1. Do you remember the formula? I hope everyone remember the formula. Everyone can say that formula is nothing but, sir, weighted average is nothing but, sir, A1 into N1 plus A2 into N2 whole divided by N1 plus N2. I think this much everyone remember. And if I directly take N1 is equal to 16 and N2 is equal to 8, any fine day you can say that this has to multiply by 16 and this has to multiply by 8, which will be difficult calculations. So I said, always remember N1 and N2, you take the ratio. Why I have taken the ratio, I hope everyone are very clear about it. So I'll be taking this number, I'll be writing it here, 50.25 into, what are the ratio, my friend? Ratio will be 2:1. So this into
2:1.
Plus this will be 45.15 into 1 whole divided by 2 plus 1, 3. I think multiplying with 2 and 1 is much easier than multiplying the number by 16. I'll be getting 100.5 plus 45.15 whole divided by 3, which is nothing but 145.65 whole divided by 3. So if I'm not wrong, anyone can do the rough calculation. Let's since all the numbers starting from 4 only, let me do the rough calculation here. 14 divided by 3 will be 3 times. Sorry, 4 times it's 12. Carry will be 2, 20.
48.55.
48.55.
Correct. More than 48, but less than 49. So answer will be 48.55. So since you have the options in the aptitude paper, you need not to worry about the calculation much. I don't recommend my people to directly go and divide. I've seen a lot of people doing this in the classes. What they do is that they go back and divide it by 3. So don't do that.
Thank you. Average concepts are still far from over. To learn and improve yourself, stay tuned with us.